Rajapaksas face a serious challenge. Mahinda thinks about the party or Namal. SLPP's Ranil supporters take protective measures. Namal's stand gives hopes for Damika. Ranil's worrisome silence. Namal says no to opposition leader position. SJB worried if Fonca will play a game at the last moment. A biggest alliance claim by SJB. Dayasiri denies connections with SJB. Sirisena, at odds with Dayasiri again. Patali looks for place without Rajapaksas. SJB gets trapped by Fonseca's court case. NPP violates election laws. Complaint made with evidence. AKD in trouble because of nurses. NPP plans more to up morale. Fisticuffs feared in Gampaha.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Rajapaksas face a serious challenge. Mahinda thinks about the party or Namal. The past week saw many meetings held over the matter of SLPP's support for President Ranil at the upcoming presidential polls. One took place at the Colombo 07 home of a state minister, where 12 MPs and some ministers were in attendance. All agreed that whatever the party decision would be, they had no other option but supporting the president. It should be done carefully while protecting the many MPs who are backing us, they noted. Namal, too, had several meetings with his loyalists who insist that he contests as the party candidate. Young activists noted that just like Namal predicted, Ranil divided their party. Also learning from what had happened after fielding Gota, Namal himself should contest, they said, adding that they would give their life on behalf of him. Namal lost his cool when an organiser remarked that they didn't mind even if Sajith won, because he could then become the opposition leader. "Should I work so hard to become the opposition leader? We must try to form a government," he reacted. Certain media reported that Namal had a meeting with Ranil too. Mahinda, Basil and Namal met several times last week and discussed the matter of the upcoming polls, such as election operations, appointment of branch and polling agents, etc. In the meantime, Basil too met Ranil for lengthy talks. Anyway, a candidate of their own was the strong message sent at all these meetings, with party sources suggesting Damika would be the choice. Although Namal has vented his feelings against Ranil, the latter has advised all, especially the Lanza and Daminda duo, his other government loyalists and UNP leaders, not to respond to him. For his part, Damika has several rounds of talks with Mahinda and other SLPP big shots. But the party leader is yet to give his word. Damika responded to a question raised by a journalist at a certificate distribution by his DP Education IT campus in Ratnapura on 28th. Damika said he was well prepared to contest for the presidency if the party gives him the opportunity. Expressing confidence of his victory, Damika said he would campaign with his own money. Except for him, no one else has introduced a debt repayment plan, he said, adding that it is available on social media for all to see. "Whatever leader Mahinda says, I am ready for that," he stressed. Today is going to be decisive for the Rajapaksas, especially Namal. The SLPP's Politburo meets in the afternoon to decide between supporting Ranil and fielding own candidate. By the time you watch this, that decision may have already been made public. So persons like URF strongman Nishantha Sri Wana Singh say that the SLPP decision will decide the country's future too. Wana Singh said so at a political talk show on ITN. Anyway, his leader Patali has already declared that they would never support a candidate who aligns with the Rajapaksas. Speaking to the media at a public rally in Kaduela, he said policies and cronies of the incumbent would have to be considered before deciding whether to support him. As such, the SLPP's decision will be important for Patali, as well as the would-be crossovers from the SJB. In the meantime, social media posts began to be shared since yesterday that Ranil will accommodate only those who think about the country and are capable of building and developing the country. Better keep in mind what Leader TV has been saying all the while, that the economic crisis and Aragalaya are having an irreversible turnaround impact on Sri Lankan politics. SJB worried if Fonca will play a game at the last moment. The SJB is fully into the presidential race now. Its plan is to debut with its alliance by 08 August. General Secretary Madhuma Bandara is hard at work on that account. The Samagi Jana Santanaya will launch its policy framework that gives solutions to all problems. Also, Sajith Premadasa will contest as its presidential candidate under the telephone symbol. Many experienced leaders free of corruption and Tamil and Muslim parties will join hands with us. More than 30 MPs will join us, he said. Party sources say talks are underway with regard to the electoral organiser and other positions that are to be offered to the newcomers. Dayasiri has refuted a Leader TV reference to a claim by Anida and Devena newspapers that he is going to join the SJB. He says he has not talked to the SJB in recent times. What he tries is to revive the SLFP. Those who are frightened of that are planting such news, Dayasiri says. His former leader, Sirisena, says Dayasiri tries to tie the SLFP to the SJB. Anyway, the SLFP is divided into 3 factions supporting different candidates. The Sirisena faction has decided to support Wijayadasa. The one led by Nimal Siripala stands behind Ranil, with Dayasiri is reported to be backing the SJB candidate, Lanka reports. By the way, the SJB is worried by what its chairman Fonca is up to. Widely tipped to join the UNP, he made news last week. He formally announced his candidacy for the upcoming presidential polls. He said on X, "I wish to announce my presidential candidacy to the people of Sri Lanka. For 76 years, we have been led by an inept political group that has led us to bankruptcy," he said, adding that for Sri Lanka to grow, we need to crush corruption. We need to leverage our natural resources to boost income generation. I invite every Sri Lankan to join me to take Sri Lanka forward, added Fonca. That gave wings to speculation that he has decided so because he cannot do politics with the Rajapaksas. So, he has become disappointed with Ranil after his presence at the SLPP rally in Kalutara, although he was the chief guest at his book launch. With these developments, Madhuma Bandara says they find no issue if Fonca leaves the SJB. But some warn that even at the last moment, Ranil will use Fonca to make trouble for the party. He has already gone to courts against his removal from the party chairmanship and Kelaniya electoral organiser positions. Fonca hangs on to the party to fight another day against Sajith. Some time ago, Sajith said that Fonca would be in charge of national security in a SJB government. Now he has to protect himself from that one. NPP violates election laws. Complaint made with evidence. The NPP launched a National Election Observation Centre. With AKD as its candidate, the party claims more than 50% of support in social media and holds seminars, rallies and other events across the country. The focus last week was on its convention of nurses that took place on the 28th at the National Youth Services Council Auditorium in Maharagama. Local election monitor Kafi has lodged a complaint with the Election Commission over the event where the nurses were in attendance in their uniforms. Rajitha Kirthi Tenakun, presently a Community Affairs Director General at the Presidential Secretariat, was former Executive Director of Kafi. His successor Manus McKean charges it was unethical and illegal to use a public property for party politics. McKean requests the Commission to call for a report from the Health Secretary with regard to nurses attending the political event in their uniforms. It is an offence committed as per the Establishment Code and election laws, he says. A NPP that speaks of politics free of fraud and corruption too has violated election laws. Critics say law-breaking is a custom in Sri Lanka when it comes to power. Such habits don't change that easy. Fisticuffs feared in Gampaha. The SLPP's district leader in Gampaha organised a rally in Kadawatha recently in support of the big man. He gave calls to organisers and former local government members and asked them to attend. There is this former deputy minister type who is not on good terms with him for a long time. He too gave everybody calls and told them not to attend the rally. He believes that he can become the district leader in the event the incumbent goes on a journey with the big man that is separate from the party. This has worsened the animosity between the two. It is feared that it will explode at any time. So the differences in opinion are now turning into fisticuffs. Politics is all about power. Parties are mere tools that are formed to achieve the goal. Worse things are yet to come.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.